Today on Candy Jack's Toy Box, we're going to be going back to the year 1997 to check out one of the toys from McFarlane's Monster line. So this is a pretty interesting line. Todd McFarlane, who is the creator of Spawn and did the movie Maniacs line, ended up doing this series of figures which were supposed to be sort of his take on the classic monsters, kind of the Universal type monsters. These are not officially licensed Universal figures. These are kind of the generic versions, I guess you could say, but that almost makes them even better. Because by this point, I think we've already gotten plenty of officially licensed figures based on the Universal monsters. So this is basically Todd McFarlane taking Dracula, Frankenstein, and the werewolf, can't really call it the Wolfman, and doing his own spin. Initially, this series was done, kind of has little play sets, something that would be appealing to kids, but also cool enough for collectors. Some of the early McFarlane figures did kind of ride that line of like, are these for kids or are they for the adult collector market? It's more like they're for adult collectors, but if a kid were to get one, they could have fun with it as well. Each figure kind of came in a playset. Technically there were 2 figures per playset. Kind of like the scale of like Star Wars figures. This is Quasimodo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame set. This is the only one that I currently have, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. I did years ago have the Phantom of the Opera set, and I might try and track that one down again. I'm not trying to get the whole series. They do kind of take up a lot of space, but they are very cool. Definitely has that sort of early McFarlane style that you see like in some of the early Spawn figures and the very early movie Maniacs, where just certain features are a little exaggerated. Well, they're very exaggerated on this one, and honestly, I love this so much more than like movie accurate figures and things like that. Like, I wish we could, focus more on just the artistic side of toys. Like, not everything needs to be like a museum quality figure. I do like that stuff as well, but let's mix it up a little bit. I think that's enough of the introduction. How about we go over to the table and I'll show you all of the features of the McFarlane Monsters Hunchback of Notre Dame set. So here's the complete playset right here. As you can see, like I said, comes with 2 figures. One is the Hunchback and the other is this executioner guy. So it kind of fits these sort of gothic medieval themes of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, which, isn't really a horror story. I wouldn't call it a horror story. I wouldn't even call it a monster story. But it is a very sort of dark and gothic story, which is why I think it, still kind of fits in with some of the other like Universal monsters and such. So there we got the Executioner and Quasimodo. And then you have the playset itself, which is a little part of Cathedral of Notre Dame de Paris. I don't know if you can see it, it says it right on there. Okay, there you go. You can see it has a little bell, which I believe you pull a string. Yeah. Rings the bell. Doesn't like make a sound or anything, and so it just kind of rattles. I think the main action feature of this one, you have this catapult, just pull back and like that. So it comes with this little gargoyle piece. So this little gargoyle piece will just kind of, you can set it on the corner like that. Or the main purpose is to stick it in the catapult, like such. And then fling it. Doesn't really get a lot of air, I'll be honest. I feel like maybe they needed something a little bit more lightweight to put in that. I don't know. But either way, it's still needed. This would still be fun if I was a kid and I had this. I would definitely love this, as well as the other figures in the set. They did 8 of these in total. There's 2 series, so 8 in total. Because I can show you some of the detail on the figures. Quasimodo is looking very kind of gruesome here. Very exaggerated features. I don't know what's going on with his fingers there. Some weird webbing of some sort. So, McFarlane definitely let his imagination run wild with these designs, and all the figures in this line are like this. Just very exaggerated, not traditional versions of these characters, but still recognizable. Kind of reminds me of the
Silent Screamers line. Yeah, Silent Screamers was based on silent horror films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Nosferatu, Metropolis, a bunch of others, but they were all like very exaggerated designs. They did not look screen accurate at all. It was very like just run wild. He's got this giant axe with some blood splatter on it. That is very just like late 90s McFarlane kind of stuff right there. I love that. Yeah, the axe is awkwardly fits in his hands. It's not a great fit, but I love that they gave him this very wicked, evil look. He's a very scary looking executioner. And I feel like that's kind of important because we want to make it clear, Quasimodo isn't the bad guy from this story. You know, it's all the other people are the real monsters. All the other universal monsters, even like the Frankenstein monster, who is tragic and misunderstood, has done villainous acts. Like, he'll resort to anger and rage, and then he becomes a proper villain, even if it's through tragedy and he's sympathetic. But with Quasimodo, there is no villainous activity here. He's completely just pure-hearted and good, just wants to do the right thing and be loved, and everybody's just like, no, not gonna do it.
Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I'll see you again next week when I do another toy review. I'm just going to keep on doing them until I run out of things to talk about. And looking at all the shit that I have, that could take a while.